The holidays are coming, and with holidays usually means busy, busy businesses everywhere out there. What a lot of photographers do during the holidays is they'll discount their sessions, dramatically offering minis and low-cost incentives for getting people in for their holiday photos. But maybe it should be more of a premium service because it is in such high demand. Why cheapen your product during the holidays? Instead, focus on the demand and value your time and offer premium pricing, which means that now during the summer months, you can offer early incentives for booking. That's what we're going to talk about today, how to offer specials and promotions for your clients in the upcoming season.
You are listening to the Anna Brandt podcast for the year 2022. Anna Brandt has been a professional photographer for over 23 years and has taught worldwide in over 34 countries and continues to educate in person and online. My name is Ava Brandt, and I am happy to welcome you to the 4th season of my mom's podcast channel. We hope you subscribe and stick around.
So here's the thing is, for years I've offered minis and holidays and, everyone does. If you're a seasoned photographer, the holidays, you love to offer mini sessions because people don't need, 1-2 hour sessions when they just want to get a quick holiday photo. A lot of families will be like, I just need one photo for the Christmas card. And as a photographer, you know that we have to obviously take more than one photo to get that perfect image, right? It's sometimes like 50 images to get one amazing one. And many times it's wrangling children and dealing with grumpy parents, and it's a lot of work. And yet many photographers, including myself over the years, offer very low prices for those types of sessions. Now, some, yes, they should be lower pricing because it's not like it's a, regular premium product that you're offering and we're taking hours of our time. Sometimes mini sessions could be 15 minutes. Sometimes they could be a half an hour. Sometimes they could be 45 minutes. So they are less than the average session. Now, I stopped offering 15-minute mini sessions years ago because I just found that the longer I went in my business, the longer I wanted to take in the sessions, and I didn't want to have such a high volume. So rather than do 15-minute Santa sessions, I turned them into a half an hour Santa sessions. And part of that was just experience. Once I became super comfortable in my environment and shooting and wrangling children, I also realized that many kids need more than 15 minutes with Santa. They need warm-up time and they need to get to know Santa. And I'm not a mall photographer. I'm a private studio. And so if my clients are going to spend more than the average for Santa, which they do, then they're should experience something a little bit different than long lines at the mall and screaming children. And so I changed my 15-minute sessions to 30-minute sessions so that I could have time for the kids to warm up and relax. That gives time for Santa to read them a story. He will often give them a gift out of the bag, that we make sure is filled up in advance. And it's more of an experience. And there's a lot of high-end studios that do this. They have a Santa experience, a holiday experience where you want gorgeous, beautiful holiday images, and you don't want to just rush the children in and out. So you're going to take the time with the wardrobe and the set. Because of that, you're going to charge more than a mall Santa. But the clients that are coming to you aren't expecting to pay mall Santa fees, nor are they expecting to have the Santa mall experience as well. Now, along with that comes different types of holiday sessions that you're going to do in the upcoming fall season. Whether it's the beach or apple orchards or sunflower fields, they're not the typical places that you would shoot all year round. They're specialty sessions. And I'm going to talk about the fall 2022 season coming up, but this is applicable really to any time of the year. Lavender season, in California is around June or July. Other seasons, cherry blossoms in the spring, depending upon where you are. So, throughout the year, there's different types of seasons for the foliage and the outdoor nature, as well as indoors. There's going to be different types of sets that you create, whether it's Halloween, Valentine's, Mother's Day, Mommy and Me. Now, clients expect that these types of sessions are going to be priced differently than a typical session. We already know that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so dirt cheap that you find yourself starving during the holiday season. So many times I've found myself waiting to the last minute to do something, whether it's book a flight or purchase something. And what happens when I do that? I pay higher than I do whether I book way in advance, right? You see this with hotels. You see this with airlines. Every blue moon, you can book a last minute flight or a hotel and get a super cheap deal if they're trying to fill seats or fill beds. But traditionally, if you want a good hotel rate or you want a good airline rate, you're going to book way in advance, right? Cruises, you could book a cruise up to a year in advance and save sometimes half the cost. Well, one of the things that I've been doing this year is I've really been trying to plan ahead because I've really tried to understand kind of the buying and selling patterns just in my own particular life. And so what I found myself doing in the beginning of the summer was offering Santa sessions and our tree farm sessions. I believe we opened them way back in April, maybe the end of March. And the reason I hadn't really meant to open it up that early, but what happened was our tree farm usually has 2 different locations. And when I reached out to her to plan the fall season, she said they were down to 1 location. In addition, they weren't going to be allowing photographers during the typical months of November, which is when we usually do the most of our tree farm sessions. She said this year she would only be allowing photographers September, October, and they would be closed to the public in November so they could sell their trees. That meant that I had to move things 2 months earlier, and I had to open up booking earlier, and I had to really plan ahead way more than I had wanted to. To do that, I gave my clients an incentive, and that the pricing that I gave them last spring was going to be less than booking in the fall. And so usually, there's one price in the spring and then there's a second price in the summer that's a little bit more. And then in the fall is a higher price. A lot of photographers do it the other way around. They will, as they get closer to the holiday, make it super, super, super cheap. Except that I find that that's pretty much a mistake because you're busy, you're swamped, you're trying to fit last minute people in, you're trying to prepare for the holiday season for your own family, and time is at a premium for everybody. And so you try to book a caterer the last minute for a wedding, they're going to have to get the staff in. They're going to have to get the supplies in. They're going to charge you more. I myself have paid a lot more when buying corsages for my kids' dances at the 11th hour. Had I planned months in advance, I would have gotten a better deal. So why not do the same in your own business? Rather than making yourself cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as it gets closer to the season, take advantage of these last few weeks of the summer and offer incentives for your clients to book early and save money now, letting them know you're going to have premium pricing in the fall when demand is very high. Last year, for the first time in my career, I had to turn down babies during the height of my holiday season. There was just no more room in my calendar. I had been at the tree farm day and night. I had extended Santa days. I had done holiday minis, and I was just out of days and I was out of hours, and there was just nothing I could do. I encourage my clients to book way early for their newborn sessions, especially November and December when time is at a premium and we just don't have enough of it. And the reason is because I would prefer to have people on my calendar in November and December so that I can plan for it, even though we know that when we're scheduling deliveries and births that aren't even happening yet, they're still, pregnant, they're not due yet. We're playing a little bit of a gamble with the calendar, right? We're going to put a date down that we think will work. Well, I let my clients know that let me know when they've had their baby 24 to 48 hours of having their session so I can adjust accordingly. But at least it's in my calendar and I can move things around and it always works out. When I have someone calling me at the 11th hour the week before Christmas and they already have a 3 or 4 week old newborn and we're getting ready to shut down for the holidays, I can't accommodate them, and nor can a lot of other photographers who take time off with the holidays. So what we should do as photographers and as business owners is start thinking now. We're here at the end of August. We should be planning the rest of our year. My workshop schedule is already set for the rest of the year. My holiday dates are already set for the rest of the year. And while I still have room for bookings for newborns and families and other things, that will get to a point where I won't have that room anymore. I've let my clients know that come the fall, prices will be higher. So I let them know via email newsletter and via social media, things that you should always make sure that you have. I let photographers know all the time that they should have an email newsletter so they have direct communication between them and their clients so they can let them know, because we all know that we miss things on social media, right? You're busy, you're at work all day, or me, I'm a photographer, I'm shooting all day. I'm going to miss many of the social media posts that are out there. So if I only rely on social media as a way to communicate with my client who's busy working, maybe in a classroom, a courtroom, or wherever they're working, they're going to miss any specials or offerings that I do. This is why the newsletter is so important. Now, with that being said, many times my newsletter goes to junk or spam, and I have to remind my clients to please add me to their VIP list. Please add me to their contact address book so that things don't end up in spam. But just today, as I was checking my own mail, I found quite a few things in my spam inbox. So, whether you're a photographer, a client, a business owner, whoever you are, I feel like spam is on the rise. So is junk mail. So are telemarketing calls. Every day we should spend 5 or 10 minutes just looking at our spam or our junk boxes to just see if there are things that we're missing that we need to know about. I find things there every single day. And I know that many of my emails go to spam for my clients. I reach out to them individually via email. I try to post on all the methods of social media, and I talk to them in person about the specials and sales that I have going on. There have been many situations where my clients have waited the last minute to book things, and they found that certain specials that I've had have sold out. And they say, well, maybe next year I'll try to book earlier. We can't accommodate every single client, every single booking, and every single location, but we can do the best that we can to, number one, communicate way in advance. Number two, it's okay to give specials and offers and incentives and discounts. What you want to do is make sure that you do it in a way that you can still be profitable and get paid. And number two, you can do it in a way that makes sense for your client. It's got to be a win-win, right? Your client obviously wants ways to save on their session, but you're a business owner. You need to find ways to make money, or you're not going to be in business, and then your client will have no photographer and no one will be happy, right? So this fall, think about possibly offering a premium pricing for the services and offerings that you're going to do, and take advantage of this last month or so of summer and give incentives to your clients to book. Now, beyond the holiday season, beyond the summer into the fall craziness, year round, photographers will ask me, Anna, is it okay to offer discounts and incentives? I don't want to feel like I'm cheapening my work. I feel like, how do you handle that? And I say, well, what would you rather do? Do you want to just offer cheap pricing all year round and you're not making any money and you're stressing and then you're not booking and your clients are wondering why you're so cheap? Or what you should be doing is have your regular offerings and your pricing based on what we all know, your cost of doing business and how you want to get paid, right? There should be a way that you've come up with how you are pricing to your client, and that's a whole other conversation. The pricing to your client should be based on your cost of doing business, your expenses, the typical accounting rules that apply when you're running a business. So that's something that should be decided regardless of what holiday season it is. I love to offer specials throughout the year, and there are tons of clients of mine that take advantage of my specials, and then there are tons of clients that pay full price because they don't know anything about me, they're not signed up for my newsletter, they need to book, they have a newborn or they have a family or whatever. And so, there are no offerings or specials. It doesn't mean I have offerings and specials 12 months out of the year. I don't. Usually Valentine's, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and then we'll do summer specials in fall. But if you really think about how many days there are in a year versus how many seasons or how many times I may offer a special or somebody else, one doesn't really outweigh the other. I mean, you'll have way more days where there won't be special times that you will book a client at your average normal price. I know because I have bookings every day that are just my average typical price for all different types of sessions. Then I have clients that really follow me and take advantage of my gift certificates or my specials. They like to plan early. I have clients that sometimes will book a year in advance and they may use, a discount or an offering or a special or a gift certificate and they save money. But then I have clients that will come in a week before they need a session and they're going to pay premium price. There's nothing wrong with either one of those. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense. Does that make sense to you? I know that for myself, I have to constantly restructure and reevaluate my pricing. I think right now I'm in a position where I really want to plan ahead. So I've planned kind of the first 5 months of my workshops for 2023 with incentives to photographers for early booking of workshops. I've sent out numerous emails to my clients for early booking of their holiday sessions, so much so that our Santa at the Tree Farm has already sold out and we still have just a little bit of room for Santa in the studio as well as other sessions. So my feeling is, for me personally, planning in advance, understanding my calendar helps me understand when I can take time off and when I can plan my own holidays with my own family by pre-booking my clients and leaving lots of room in my upcoming schedule. With that being said, that means that I make sure that my pricing goes along with that. And when my season is super busy, my pricing will be at a premium, which is like many other businesses out there. You've got to do what's comfortable for you. Sit down, evaluate your time, your business, your schedule. Are you someone who likes to do things last minute? Or are you someone who likes to plan in advance? Are your clients those that like to book last minute? And if so, and you find yourself ahead of the game at the end of the season, you can always open up additional slots for those who waited to the last minute. I've done this over the years and it's worked out very well. Or if you find yourself busy and exhausted at the end of the holiday season, you don't have to open up any more spots. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, you do it with thought and the understanding that profitability is going to be the most important thing to make sure that you can be in business for a very long time. Hopefully, this information that I gave you will give you just some thought and perspective to your own business and what you should be doing. When all else fails, I tell photographers all the time, do your own market research. See what works and what doesn't work. Think about last season. What worked, what didn't work. If this is your first holiday season in business, or if this is your first year really charging, set your rules and make sure that you take some notes along the way so that next year you can make changes. And then every single year you adjust accordingly. And then the more you know, the better you'll be as a business owner, photographer, and hopefully a very successful entrepreneur. I'm Anna Brandt. Thanks for listening.
Did you like this podcast? We would love it if you gave my mom a kind review and reach out to her. To learn more about Anna, visit annabrandt.com. You can find out about her education opportunities at annabranteducation.com.